Hi everyone, my name's Callie, and this is a meditation with the York County Libraries in South Carolina. This meditation is going to resemble a Yin Yoga practice where you get into a pose, you keep your eyes closed, and you just focus on your breath for anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes. We're going to be talking about transformation. Transformation is defined as a dramatic change in appearance. But most of the time in our own lives, as we transform throughout our lives, it's not always a change in appearance that happens. It's more often something we cannot see with our own eyes. So to begin this practice, do grab some pillows and then stack them so that you can lay down on your back with the pillows beneath your back so that your heart's elevated. And you can have your legs extended out long on the mat, feet together or separate. Or if you'd like to relax the hips a bit more, you can bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees be open. So close your eyes and start to notice your breath in and out through the nostrils. Noticing that the air is cool as it goes in through the nostrils, and it's a little bit warmer as it comes out. You don't have to slow down your breath at all. Just trust that the timing of your breath is right for you today. And I'd like you to think about a butterfly. Butterflies are bright and beautiful creatures, but they are not so beautiful from birth. And they have a long transformation practice before they get to the butterfly stage of life. So the butterfly begins as an egg. An egg is laid on a leaf. It can't move. Essentially, it's helpless. And maybe this is the phase of life for us when it feels like things are beyond our control. When maybe we're not taking action in our lives, not by any fault of ours, but just because life is more happening to you in this phase. This actually reminds me a lot of the past year with a worldwide pandemic and shutdowns and quarantines. Most of these things are just beyond our control. Life is happening and we're a part of it, but not really in control of any of it. This is an important phase of life because without it, you can't move on to the next phase. Maybe this is a place where you're just meant to just stay in the moment, keep taking one step after the other. Not being consumed by things that have already happened or being anxious about the future, but like the egg, just being. Take one more giant inhalation and fully exhale it out. And then roll to one side and just take your top arm down in front of you, push into the ground to come up to seated. As you make your way to seated, extend your legs out in front of you. Your feet can be together or up 1 or 2 feet apart, whatever is comfortable. Take those pillows and set them right in front of your body. Stack them up so that you can fold forward onto the pillows. Now you don't need to be squeezing your legs tight or flexing your feet. This is different than maybe another yoga practice you've done, but in Yin, you kind of relax all the muscles. And so just folding over, seeing if you can find a comfortable position to just relax down onto those pillows. You're in a seated forward fold. In Yin, this is called caterpillar pose. So with your eyes closed and coming back to your breath and doing your best not to move at all for the next few minutes. So in the caterpillar phase of a butterfly's life, life is no longer happening to the caterpillar is happening to life. They are eating a lot because that is how they grow. That's how the caterpillar grows. It starts with eating its own eggshell and then the leaf it was laid on. It can grow, depending on the caterpillar, it can grow up to 100 times as big as it started. As they grow, they shed their outgrown skin. So for us, this is a phase where we are really getting active and making things happen. And this looks very different for every person. This could mean changing your habits, starting new habits, shedding relationships, or working to deepen relationships or start new ones. So just take a few minutes to just continue to breathe right here. And now you can start to sit up, and we're going to make our way to child's pose. So making your way first to hands and knees, and then you can have your knees wide or together. Try to keep your big toes touching, and you try to sink your hips back to your heels as you lower your chest and your forehead to the mat. Your arms are reaching out in front of you. And if you'd like, you can keep those pillows right underneath your upper body and just like lay on them. That may make it a lot more comfortable for you as well. And if you do that, just take one cheek on the pillow. So in this phase for a butterfly, this is the chrysalis. This is when they make their cocoon, they go inside of it, and they essentially put the lid on, close the door, and they just hang there. This is where the metamorphosis happens for the butterfly. Without the metamorphosis in the cocoon, there is no butterfly. They have to go inside in order to become the butterfly. Depending on the butterfly, this process can last a few days or up to a whole year. And however long that process might be, when it's time for the butterfly to break out of the chrysalis, they have to do it themselves without help. And this process of wiggling and pushing and moving, what it does is it helps strengthen the wings of the butterfly to make the wings be ready for flight. In this phase for us, this is when the effects of the caterpillar phase start to surface and show. So if you're working on relationships, you might notice people gravitating towards you. Or if it's something with work, you might be getting some recognition. This is a really exciting phase. Although being in the chrysalis feels like nothing's happening, a huge change is happening. This is the metamorphosis, the dramatic change. And take one final big breath here. And fully exhale. Push all the air out of your lungs. And then walk your hands back towards you. And just sweep the legs out in front of you. And if you want to, you can sit on top of your pillows to elevate your hips a bit. Or if you're fine flat on the floor, wherever you're seated, just sitting and bringing the soles of your feet together, knees open up wide, and just hold on to your ankles. Yeah, so we're just sitting up tall in butterfly pose. And of course, the last life cycle of a butterfly, the last phase, is when it does become an adult. And so when the butterfly busts out of that chrysalis finally, it actually stays there for a little while and hangs upside down, flapping its wings. It's making sure that the wings are strong enough, making sure that it's ready to fly away from where that chrysalis is hanging, that it's ready to let go and trust its own ability to fly. So with your eyes closed, just focus on your breath. You can imagine that butterfly hanging upside down and flapping its wings. You can imagine it flying away. Or maybe you can recall a time in your life when this is essentially what you were doing. And for some of us, the most beneficial thing might be imagining coming into this phase where you've been transformed, where you're ready to trust yourself, and you're ready to fly off into something new and exciting. And so, to start to bring our awareness back to the here and now, I want you to just listen for the most far off sound that you can hear. And go ahead and change your legs so that you're sitting in easy seated like a crisscross applesauce. And just draw some big circles with your nose. And then draw these circles the opposite direction. And settling in with a neutral neck. And I just want to thank you for practicing with me today. And I hope you have a great day.